Are you ready?
Yeah, you know I'm ready.
3, 2, 1, jump!
We're choosing to unlock the treasures from within. Winners don't back down, now we move forward. Destiny awaits, you got the power, so now roar. This is Relentless Conversations. Destiny awaits, you gotta move forward. Never back down, man, we always move forward. We got the power, it's locked within. My friend, you never give in, cause it's your time to win. This is Relentless Conversations.
Welcome to Relentless Conversations, where the conversations are always to push you forward in your destiny. The battle is yours to win. Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go.
Yo, what's going on, fam? This is part 3 of the 50th episode. Y'all, 50 episodes. I mean, what can we say? 50, the big 50. I don't know about y'all, but I'm excited. So that means we've been rocking this for 50 episodes. And I just got to say, I just really want to say I appreciate y'all. So the next person that I have up, if you've been following me since day one, shout out to all my day ones. You have heard him on an interview with me. So, but you didn't see him. That's crazy, right? Just to imagine that at one point it was just strictly all audio. But now, shout out to my YouTube. We got a video too. So if you're on audio, you know, I still rock with you, but be sure to go to my YouTube page, like and subscribe. I got the link in the bio. All right, that's a bet. So I already know y'all gonna rock with your boy. So the next person I have up, he is literally my brother. He's my brother-in-law. He's incredible, man. He's an artist, fashion designer, man. This guy got his hands on a lot of stuff, man, and he's only getting better. So I would like to introduce to you all my brother, Noel Little. What's going on, bro?
Hey, what's up, man? How you doing?
Man, I'm great, man. How's everything in your side of the world?
Good, man. Good. Pandemic is slowing down, so keeping being productive.
Yeah. Yes. So, man, it's been. I think it was 2020 when we did the interview.
Yeah. Dang, 2 years already.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, been grinding. So let's talk about it, man. What has changed since then?
Since then, man, we bought our first home. We have a house. Man, so much has changed. I'm still at the same job, got a higher position. But other than that, I'm actually working on a new project. It's going to be like I don't want to say autobiography, but it's more like my testimony. I don't want to give out too many gems, but it's like my testimony, pretty much. So yeah.
Can we get an exclusive? What's the name of the album? Can we get that exclusive?
Super exclusive. All right, so the project is called Latchkey Kid.
Okay. And y'all remember we heard it here first, so that's the exclusive.
Literally. So yeah, so that'll be coming out like this fall.
Okay.
In the fall.
Okay.
Yeah. 2 gems.
Bet. So what else has been going on with you, man? I mean, how's life?
Life is good. Continuing to grow. Since the last time we spoke, I've gotten into counseling. Just make sure you're sharpening your minds. A lot of times, definitely men, Black community, oftentimes we kind of look at therapy as, or counseling as something that's like for crazy people, or like what I'm saying, we'll just handle it our own or just sweep it under the rug. But definitely with some of the subjects I touch on my next project, it kind of made me realize like there's a lot of stuff I need to unpackage. And since I guess since the last time we spoke, I just had little man. So
yeah, now
that I have, I love my daughter, that's my princess, but something about when you have a boy and then he starts doing stuff like you and saying stuff like you, and it's like I just want to make sure I'm the best me for him to look up to. I know I'm still gonna have flaws, but
yeah,
if there's anywhere I kind of like, I want to be transparent with him, but I also want to kind of still be living out the best version of myself, or showing him to continue to get better. So yeah, that's been my personal journey. just being the best I could be for, the people that's following after me. Start with my family, and then outside of that.
So what are some other steps that you're taking to become that better version of you?
I'm actually, I'm getting into working out. I hate working out. But it helps your body. It helps you in a lot of ways. Trying to eat better. And a big one that is very slept on is reading. Like really just reading books. I didn't like reading growing up. I still don't like reading, but I like what reading does for me. It's kind of like working out. Like you don't like working out, but you like the results of working out. So it's kind of one of them things. Like the more you do it though, the more you kind of get used to it. And I enjoy learning and getting different perspectives. And it's like, wow, like the information is out there. Like most libraries, you can get these books for free.
Yeah.
But it's just like people, definitely our generation and younger, just like, we ain't trying to read no book. Yeah. Not really. So I'm trying to get over that hump for myself.
Most definitely, man. That's something that I love to do, man, is definitely reading, because it expands my knowledge, especially even gives me different perspectives on different things, especially being a motivational speaker and motivating people in different types of ways, whether podcasting or just content on social media. I steady have to read. So that is something I definitely have to do. So yeah, man. But yeah, if y'all need a good book to read, I'm just gonna throw my suggestion out here. I got 2 books right here. So if y'all need some good books to read, just holler at your boy, www.relentlessmotivationalgroup.com.
Goals. How many goals have you set up for yourself when you gave up because it was too hard? How many times did you feel you weren't good enough because the journey seems tedious? I too felt this way, but then things changed. I realized I had to change how I think. I had to change who I was. I had to be relentless. I am Noel. I want to tell you about my book, Be Relentless. It teaches how to understand your roar, your design path, hitting your mark, and much more. Purchase your copy of Be Relentless today at www.relentlessmotivationalgroup.com. It's not just another book. It's a movement. So are you ready to be relentless?
Yo, what's going on, fam? This is your boy Noel. Look, a lot of you have been asking me questions on what did I do to get started? How did I pattern out my episodes? How did I reach out to different guests? Well, here's your opportunity now to learn everything that I have done leading up to episode 50. I will show you how to monetize. I will show you how to reach out to different guests. I'm showing you so much behind the scenes stuff that I do in my own podcast. So coming soon is my podcast course. Be sure to tune in and check it out. All right? Noel, your relentless motivator. Now I'm motivating you to start your podcast. I'm out. But I'll be honest with you. I tell you, some of my favorite books to read is some of the old school books. Like The Art of War. There are some other books, man, I'll share with you, that I've read, faith-based too. And I kid you not, those books feel like they was relevant just for today. That's what's even crazier. So, yeah, man, definitely get in those books, man. Getting in books is like very important. I would suggest that to anyone, especially if you're talking about growing and stuff. And if you can't afford the coach just yet, or if you can't afford the conferences and stuff, there's always so much knowledge in the books. So I highly encourage people to, grab a book, get into a book, man. Even if you just really read just a few pages or something. A few pages is better than no pages.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So how has the music been going, man? How has that end been going? I know you talked about the upcoming album coming soon. So what about, I think last time we interviewed, I think the album, was it Lavin came out, or was it something else?
I think it was Dear Serenity. It might have been.
That is
the
it.
demo.
Yeah, because we named the episode after this Serenity. So what has happened after this? Yeah, I guess I pretty much don't told it, but
yeah. So definitely the album. But something else that I want to do too is last year I had a Latin Fest. I think I want to revamp that and do it sometime in the fall as well. So yeah, I'm gonna have a show. But just as far as music, just trying to explore different sounds. And I'm doing all like in-house production.
Okay.
Like just like with people I personally know. So making custom instrumentals versus just buying instrumental off of, like YouTube, like finding a beat on YouTube and paying for it. I'm actually sitting down with producers and we're coming up with these concepts and stuff together. So it's definitely a harder process to actually make the sound from scratch.
Yeah.
Versus just kind of finding something that you just hear and get inspired by. It's kind of like me having to write and then come up with the sound, like the song I heard while I was writing. It's like kind of backwards engineering. It feels like it's kind of like the opposite way as I usually do it. So it's kind of like relearning how to make music all over again. So musically that's dope. We're trying to continue to write and find the inspiration. I want to make sure I tell this story right because I know a lot of people are going to relate to it.
Yeah. So let me ask you this: how do you feel that you have grown as a musician, as an artist, right?
I feel like I made some mistakes. Some things that I would take back that I wouldn't do. I think a lot of even Dear Serenity, I feel like a lot of songs were kind of, to me, now that I can kind of see clearly, hindsight 22, a lot of the sounds were everywhere, just everywhere. And, I think I was trying to find my sound.
Yeah.
And now I think I have an idea of what it is my sound is. I think musically that was something. I was just trying different things. And I'm realizing just because I can do it doesn't mean I should do it. Got to stay true to myself. And not just what I think somebody wants to hear. Makes sense.
So how did you know you found your sound?
When I can listen to it, but it's all about the playback value for me. Like some songs, like I instantly skip it. And what I do now is I act like the song, I act like I already released it. Cause I had this thing where I might like it, but if I put it out, like would I want people to play it while I'm around? How would I feel if I went back and listened to it if it was already out? So I gotta kind of think that way. But sometimes you could like something, but you're not really thinking about it in the context of how you want to feel about this later.
Yeah.
That makes sense. So I think everything from my first project, Lavin, like I can listen to that whole project and be like, yo, this is fire. And that's how I think I knew my sound too, because I previously did this sound. I really just did something I completely liked, and I think I let fans and what I thought other people might want something different from me deter me from that sound that I loved. But I realized also when you love the music yourself, it's something you want to perform. I pay attention to that too. Like if I make a song but I don't want to perform it, it's like, do you act like it, or do you just kind of make that song because somebody else would like it? So I just think about my favorite songs that I like to perform, and then from there it's like, why do you like that? And then that's kind of like my sound. That's how I do.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Man, that's dope, man. And I love to see the growth, man. I'm always for growth. So, yeah. how do you balance all of this? Being the artist, being the fashion designer, going to work, and being a husband and a father. How you balance all of that?
Yeah, I'm honestly working on where I'm still working on it, because sometimes I'll come down and pick the other one up. I can be very one task oriented and then forget like the other things. Yeah, and I'm learning. I'm trying to figure out even now how to that could be like not music, then I talk about passion. You know, like I can kind of in those gaps like come together. Instead of just kind of like it all comes out at one time and then I just hiatus for 3 months.
Yeah.
Just kind of got to work on that. Of course, work at the time, kind of working everything around that time and scheduling. Make sure that's stuff on your schedule. I'm so bad with that. I have to work with that. My wife is so on point with that, and I'm just learning from her. Honestly, in that area, so I have to give her flowers. She's a organization queen, and I'm the free bird. I just kind of like I just go as I please that day. Like I just go with the wind, you know. Sometimes as an artist, I'm just like, oh, I'll get the inspiration for what I'm gonna do later. Like she's like, no, we need A, B, C, and D. So she balances me.
Yeah, definitely gotta have that schedule, man. I know I plan a schedule, but I'm realistic to know also that sometimes you gotta make a plan B for the plan. So yeah, man, it definitely takes a lot of work, man, but it's doable.
I did want to ask you one question. Just one. How does the motivator stay motivated?
That's easy. I listen to a lot of motivation, E.T., Inky, but then there's sometimes I don't feel led to go that route. And don't get me wrong, prayer is a big part of it. There are some times that, you know, I'm practicing more meditation too, because the meditation is helping me to release, you know, all the negativity that I go through from a day-to-day basis. So that is some of the key ways that I stay motivated. I think about my why. You know, there's somebody out there who's on the edge of giving up, who is on the brink of saying, you know what, I want to quit right here. I don't think this is for me. So I always keep those things in mind, that, you know, I got to push a little bit harder. It does get, well, we was just talking about the balancing sometimes. It does get difficult sometimes because, you know, like I know, sometimes when you got that creative flow going and it hits you at that moment, but then, you know, you also got to spend time with the wife too. So a lot of times my wife, she's understanding, especially when I'm coming to the point, you know, I got to build for something. You know, she gives me that time, but then there are times that I have to, you know, even though she's telling me, well, you know, it's okay, but I'm like, no, I got to make sure, you know, we spend time together. So yeah, man, it's all about that.
No, that's perfect.
Yeah. You got anything else for me, man?
Not man. Of course, y'all follow me, Not the Leader, NAJ the Leader. The album will be coming out in feels like a few months in fall. So y'all be looking at that. And that's it.
All right, man, I appreciate you, man. I thank you for taking the time out with me. I also appreciate you for being in the first season, man. That absolutely means a lot, man. It's been a lot of growth since season 1, as you see. So Yeah, man. I like I said, I appreciate it, and much gratitude to you. All right,
so man, appreciate you having me on here on Predator Growth.
Yeah, no doubt. So, as for my listeners and my watchers, y'all stay tuned. We have one more part to this 50th episode. It's going down, y'all. So, all right. See y'all on the next episode.
My fellow entrepreneur, it is Bobby Robinson, also known as the Influencer Attorney. And first of all, I'm sure by now you are enjoying the conversation with Relentless. I'm super excited to partner with Noel to offer 2 courses exclusively for his listeners. So the first course is a DIY business formation course. And this course is really for anybody who's trying to figure out what business entity. Is it an LLC? Is it a C Corp? So in this course, you'll learn everything you need to know about business entity formation, and I'll actually show you how to get it done in your respective state. The second course is a DIY trademark course, and this is one of my most popular courses. Everybody's trying to get their brand protected, and rightfully so. So in this course, I teach you everything that you need to know about trademarks, service marks, and more importantly, again, I literally show you step by step on how to get your brand protected by actually showing you how to file a trademark application. So I'm super excited to have you. Feel free to go ahead and register today, and I'll see you on the other side. Take care.
Yo, what's going on, fam? This is your boy, Noel. This is the last part, man. I hope y'all digging this. I actually surprised y'all. I don't know if y'all recognize it or not, but I split it up into 2 days. So not only do y'all get 2 days, but y'all get that 2 in 1. They got 2 episodes in 1 episode. So, man, this gentleman, now I'm going back because we did an episode together on season 1. All the way back to season 1 before I even had the visuals. So, man, I like to call him Mr. No Wednesday. So I'm just going to let him introduce himself, man, because this guy is incredible. Y'all make sure y'all check out his podcast, man. He is dropping so many gems, so much value, man. I get a lot of value. He kicked my butt sometimes as far as working on that balance and stuff. So, but hey, we all need people in our lives like that. But
got to.
Yeah. So, how's it going today, sir?
Oh man, Noel, man, I appreciate you, brother, man. It's when you said our first interview was season 1, and that was like what, 2 years ago? I feel like now, almost 2 years, something like that.
Yeah, it was 2020, wasn't it?
Yeah, time has really flown, man.
Yeah.
So number one, congratulations to you on reaching this milestone, 50 episodes and whatnot. Like that's
Appreciate
huge, brother. That's huge, and it's been great to kind of watch you grow from afar. Well, not even from afar. We close, like usually we in the same city and all that, right? But it's been great to see. But yeah, for me, man, I'm Emmanuel Little, as you said, aka Dr. Little, aka as the name you gave me, Mr. No Wednesday. But also my creative side, Manny Voices. Some people call me Easy. All those things apply. And so, yeah, I'm just somebody who is trying to maximize my time on this earth, trying to work all my different lanes, husband, a father as well, but most importantly, just somebody who is loving life and on this journey of growth and self-love as well.
All right, man. So since we both started our podcast around the same time, so since then, what has changed for you since that season 1?
So yeah, a lot has changed since I started season 1 of No Wednesday. I mean, number one, I am on season 4 of the podcast, which feels ridiculous to say that it's on season 4 now. But I try to add little herbs and spices to the recipes. So no 2 seasons are alike. So now we've got segments that are around vocabulary, around Black history, around music, around animals, all the different things that I like, and adding some different things to that. But then on a more personal side, one of the biggest changes in my life is that I left higher education after working exclusively in that field for 14 or 15 years. That was a huge change. So transitioning from the higher education area to the nonprofit. and all the learning and unlearning that goes along with that. And then outside of that, this is related to it. And I'm very transparent about this journey on No Wednesday. I started seeing a therapist in 2018. And I'm a huge proponent of therapy. I think it's extremely important for a lot of us, and building that relationship with that person. But one of the things about changing jobs is that you also change insurance. And when you change insurance, sometimes the therapist that you had does not accept the new insurance that you have. So I ended up having to change therapists as well. Luckily, I have found one now. It's working out great. But that's been a big change as well. And then beyond that, just trying to make sure that I maintain balance and move with all these different quote unquote unforeseen circumstances that keep happening. It seems like they should be foreseen by now, but that's neither here nor there.
Yeah. All right, man. So tell me, after working 15 years in the education system, how did it feel to take that leap?
Man, terrifying, in a word. That's the first word that I can give you, just because, you know, we get in these comfort zones, right? And when you've been not only working in a field for your entire career since I was 22 years old, but also working at one place for that long, like, it's very easy to get used to that and get accustomed to that. And this is why, of course, the pandemic has been horrible, but I'm grateful for the stillness and the lessons that I've been able to extract from the pandemic, because I had to kind of take that self-inventory to say, look, you know, I've been doing this for 15 years. I like it, but there has to be more for me, right? And I had put in so much work, so much time, got a whole PhD, you know what I'm saying? And felt like at a certain point, I was just kind of a hamster spinning my wheels. And for me, it was like, okay, in order for me to get to whatever it is I feel like I deserve, or whatever it is I feel like I want, I got to make something shake. You know what I'm saying? And so one thing I say all the time, it's an old saying, right? Scared money don't make none. Yeah. Right. So I had to kind of exemplify that in what I was trying to do. And so, but it was terrifying when you take that leap. But it was also really empowering because starting from a blank slate, it's something that I just had not done. Yeah. So getting a chance to really create your own narrative and start that new chapter and build things the way you want to build it, like that's empowering for me. But the first thing was fear, the terror of it all. Yeah. But once I kind of got over that and realized, oh, wow, you mean to tell me I can do this, this, and this, and still not lose the lessons that I learned in the 15 years of working in higher education? Oh yeah, we good now. Absolutely. So yeah, that's how it was for me.
Yo, what's up, fam? This is your boy K Noel back again. Yo, check this out. For all my authors, my business owners, my coaches out there, are you looking to get your business, your book, your program in front of another audience? Then this is for you. Relentless Conversations is looking to partner with you. Yes, you. So what I need you to do right now, all serious inquiries, email right now, podcast@relentlessmotivationalgroup.com. Hey, I'm looking to hearing from you so we can work together to strive to go forward. All right, let's go.
Yo, what's up, you guys? It's your girl, Tree, the LPC. Have you ever wondered why you won't let others get close to you? Does it bother you that you feel disconnected from family members and friends? Do you think that you might have imposter syndrome? Well, be sure to tune in to the Self-Aware and Effed Up podcast to learn more about yourself as well as taboo topics in mental health. Also, be sure to follow me, Tree the LPC, on all social media platforms under the handle Tree the LPC.
Awesome. Man, I really think 2020 really opened a lot of people's eyes.
Oh, yeah.
I know it definitely did for me. So, in reality, it reminds me of when I hit 30. Mm-hmm. When I hit that age of 30, man, reality of life hit.
Man, look. Man. I could go on a whole tangent, but I won't.
Yeah, man. So how have you feel as far as the podcast, and how has that helped?
Yeah, man, honestly, like the podcasting thing has been a godsend for me in a lot of different ways. I think for me, and I want to specify it, therapy is therapy. So this is not therapy, but I do consider the podcasting, at least for me, is therapeutic, because I'm the type of person, I like to kind of write out my thoughts and grapple with them a little bit, right? And the podcast kind of gave me a way to do some of that, while also being able to speak those things out after I've had a chance to grapple with them and record and be able to share those thoughts with other people and getting that feedback from folks to say, you know what, I appreciate that episode because I'm going through the exact same thing. Even if I'm not even saying I have the answers, right? This is me grappling with a lot of things that I'm still trying to figure out. Yeah. But it ends up helping people. And so, it's helped me as it helps others. And for me, it's been a really great way to exercise my creative abilities, because those were things that were largely dormant for over a decade. Because one of the things about growing up, quote unquote, is that it's very easy to put down the things that bring you joy, that brought you joy when you were a child, right? Yeah. And for some people, maybe it's drawing. For other people, maybe it's just playing, right? And for me, once I became an adult and had bills, and then went into grad school, you're married, you got kids, all this stuff, you end up pushing out the things that you do purely for like self-gratification, for self-enjoyment. Like all the things you end up doing are for the service of other people. And for me, this podcast kind of represented a return to the things that I love to do purely for self. And, whether it's, getting on the microphone and talking, or being able to dabble into music a little bit, or writing, like it's all those things combined into one show. And it's kind of for lack of a better word, a celebration of all the different things that I like, or different things that I love as well.
Awesome. Man, this is what I love about what you said, because I'm a firm believer, because, we talk about childlike faith. Mm-hmm. And, when we was kids, man, you was everything. Shoot, man, I was the Michael Jordan.
Me too. I swore I was going to be that.
Yeah. But the crazy thing is, we get older, and the older we get, we hear, it's time to grow up, and, we have to put away that childlike faith, so to speak. Mm-hmm. They're not telling us to put away the childlike faith, but it goes away with it, because it's time to grow up. It's time to do that. Now we got to pay bills. Oh, you don't have time to do this. But I feel like you can still work that 9 to 5 or whatever hours you make and still live out your purpose, because somewhere within that childlike faith, which is why it's important to heal that child, is we will find our purpose.
I love that, man. And that's real. When you're talking about purpose, and this goes back to something you talked about earlier in this convo about, like, one of the hardest things for me to detach myself from something that I've done for 14 or 15 years. Yeah. And I had to realize that my purpose or my mission was not tied to a position, right? Yeah. And understanding that whatever it is that I'm put on this earth to do, it may not have anything to do with a company, an organization, any of those things, because at the end of the day, I'm me. Right. Like my talents are gonna go wherever I go. And I owe it to myself, primarily, first and foremost, to exercise my talents in a way that feels good, in a way that feels right, and understanding that they can take on lots of different forms. And when we're children, there's such purity in the things that we do and the things that we exercise, because all those extra things aren't attached to it anymore. Yeah. You're not doing these things for the money per se. You're not doing these things because, your job needs you to do it. You're not doing these things because your family needs you to do it, or what have you. It's just, I'm doing it because it feels right. Yeah. Because I enjoy it. Right. And so it's always about trying to kind of embrace that childlike innocence, that childlike outlook on life. And it's hard. It is hard because you have so many different extra things that come into play. And there do come times where you have to say, okay, I got to put this down for 2 seconds and handle this thing right quick. But then I got to get back to it. You know what I'm saying? So that's what it's been for me.
Why do you think it's so important to tap into that child?
Oh man, you come with the heavy questions, right? Oh man, I mean, I think for one, and maybe this is me looking through the lens of a father as a parent. Your kids are always watching, and they're and I've realized that they're emulating you at every point, whether you know it or not. And so it's so important to be able to embrace that childlike approach, because when your son or your daughter grows up, the adult version of themselves, at least at first, is going to try to do things the way that you did it. And so if you walk around not enjoying your life as a 37-year-old or what have you, and always working, and when you come home from work you're always tired, not having time to play or not having anything for yourself, your kid is going to notice that. And subconsciously, when they grow up, they're going to think, okay, this is what adulthood is like. This is what it's like to be a grown person. And that just kind of repeats the cycle. So for me, because it's not the only identity I have, but it is an important one. A father is a big piece of how I see the world now. And so a lot of it is realizing like your kids in a weird way almost raise you, because it's a reminder of that childlike innocence, right? And a reminder that yes, there are serious things in the world, but it's okay to play in a lot of different ways too. It's okay to still see the world through their eyes as well. And I think also it's important to be able to see the world through that lens, because thinking about the things that brought you joy and happiness when you were 8, 9, 10 years old, 9 times out of 10, it's still the same now, decades later. When you think about the things that you liked when you were growing up, it's just that you have to strip away all the other layers that you've added onto it and get back to that core. Like growing up, I was crazy about dinosaurs, crazy about nature, crazy about all those things. I still am. I'm a huge nerd. You know what I'm saying? I know all scientific names of animals that I will never need to know. And those are still things that are in me, right? And things I still enjoy. But I had went away from those things just for no other reason than, well, I guess I'm grown now. I got to put those things away, right? And so, but understanding that and being able to realize that's still me to my core, and that's okay. And being able to return to those things is really important.
Yeah, I know for me, is if don't nobody else know, it's always gonna remain with this guy.
Oh, right here. I see you, Batman. Okay. Look, I ain't even gonna joke on Batman too much, because I'm not as deep in the superhero lore as a lot of people are. Like I'm really kind of new to it, but I know there's like a running joke about Batman not being a real superhero. But I ain't gonna do that to you. Like,
well, I'll say this: Batman is that guy because he doesn't have superpowers, but he knows everybody's weaknesses.
I hear you. Okay.
He has a whole database. So if he needed to defeat them, he already knows how to.
Okay.
So
I deal with that.
He has limitations, but he don't let his limitations stop.
I like how you frame that. Okay.
Batman is relentless, man.
I see what you did there. I like that.
But going back to what you said, man, I don't have any kids. I do have some nieces and a nephew. But for me, I would say even adults need to see an example.
Yeah.
That's even important to adults, man, because it's some adults out here struggling, and they have something inside of them just rattling, that's getting on their nerves, but they're stuck here in adulthood because that's what we've been programmed to think. Because I love this. I learned this at Georgia College about understanding generations, and we know the boomer generation, they was a stickler for, you know, making sure you had that 9-to-5 job. Mm-hmm. And it was programmed, you know, starting to be programmed into our mind, but then we pumped the brakes on it. And we realized that it's really more to life than that.
Exactly. And that's a hard conversation to have with people in that generation, whether it's your family members or, you know, if you have like supervisors or authority figures that are boomers or whatever. But yeah, I think our generation was one of the first to say, you know what, there has to be a different way of going about this. Yeah. And you see it in the data and the research as far as how many of us end up hopping jobs and switching professions and whatnot, where 2 generations ago, it was more of the expectation that, okay, you get that 9-to-5, you hold on to that good job and you keep it for 30, 40 years and you retire with your pension and whatnot. We ain't got no pensions. Yeah. Like those things don't really exist as much for our generation now. So we've had to move in a different way out of necessity too.
Yeah, because oftentimes people keep telling me, man, you're going to retire from here. And if you're watching, just in case you're watching, you know who you are. I'm leaving soon.
Gotcha. Okay.
I'm just putting it out there because I have a purpose that I have to fulfill. So in the GC, it doesn't involve GC, unfortunately. So
hey, that's fair. We need to drop some bombs, some air horns. Big announcement just made on the podcast. Yeah, man. But you know, like on a serious note, I respect, you know, you being able to make that decision for yourself, because going back to what I mentioned earlier, it is hard. Yeah. Because you've been at a place for a long time too, and but understanding and having that conversation with yourself, like, I gotta step out on faith and pursue the things that gratify my goals, personal and professional. And sometimes you look around and realize the place that you're at doesn't do any of those things. Yeah. So it's like, why am I still here? Is it because I like being here, or is it because it's the safe option? It's what I've always known. So salute to you for that, man, and good luck to you.
Yeah, appreciate it, man. So man, I want to respect your time. So I want to give you the last few words, man.
Oh man, look, I don't even know what to say. Number one, again, congratulations to you, and I appreciate you for having me on this show. And like, I always appreciate folks who have good energy. And like, brother, you've always been that. You've always been that. You know, I hear it in your podcast, but I see it also in your interactions. I saw it when we were working at the same spot. You know what I'm saying? And so, you know, so number one, kudos to you.
I appreciate it, man.
And thank you. And to anybody that's listening, seriously, and I say it so much that it sounds like a broken record, but seriously, if I have to be that person, I will be that person. Like, take care of yourself. Like, it's important for us to reach our goals and go after the things that are ours. Of course, all that stuff is very important. But what good is it worth if you don't have a body to enjoy it, right? Yeah. And so you have to take time to have that sense of balance. If you've been going hard for a few weeks, take a day, take 2 days, or what have you. All right. And, you know, if you're a person that's going through a lot of things and you need help, find a therapist as well if you have access. Like, that's okay to do that. And brother, I know you always have interviews with therapists on this podcast, so I'm sure that the listeners already know these things anyway. Yeah. But I'm going to be that person to remind you again. Like, you know, seek help if you need it. And, you know, always try to make sure that you're growing in your different ways. And I'll just end the same way that I end on No Wednesday. Like, live loud and live proud, because the world is what it is, but we still got to be. So be it. Be good to yourself, be good to your people, and let good things be manifested to you. Be easy.
Man, I'm just happy I got that famous line on the podcast.
Yeah, man. It's something that, you know, it kind of encapsulates everything for me, man. And so I appreciate you allowing me the space to do that.
Yeah. But man, I just want to thank you for the support, man. I greatly appreciate it. we've been doing this thing. I can't believe it. We've been doing this thing going on 2 years now.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So yeah, and as for my listeners and now my viewers, just want to let you all know I appreciate you all. This is the big 50. So we're going to celebrate again once we hit the big 75. So you already know how we do. No matter what time of the day it is, you all have a great day, a great evening, great morning, and be relentless. Leave no days left behind. And we are out.
We're choosing to unlock the treasures from within. Winners don't back down, now we move forward. Destiny awaits, you got the power, so now roar. This is Relentless Conversations. Destiny awaits, you gotta